artist himself, Dusty Rhodes.
Welcome, wrestling fans. My name is Willie J, and this is the glory days of pro wrestling. Join me to the era that I enjoyed best about professional wrestling, which is the 70s and the early 80s. Join me for the next 30 minutes as I present some of the greatest names in wrestling. Pro wrestling enthralled me as a young child growing up in the 70s and the early 80s. Such wrestling greats as Johnny Valentine, Waldo McDaniels, Paul Jones, Bobo Brazil, they were my heroes growing up. This is a montage or a salute to some of those great wrestlers of that era. I'm not going to stay in one region. I'm going to span across different regions and different continents. I present the very best in the glory days of pro wrestling. Join me in this next 30 minutes and for successive volumes as I present only the greatest. Now, buckle your seatbelts, sit back, and enjoy the glory days of pro wrestling.
To leave this one alone, she could tell right away that I was bad to the bone, bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Bad.
See stud. Your referee, Roy George. One fall. Television time remaining on this unusual match.
Tennessee Stud, who has some kind of reason, you know what, at the beginning of the program. Look at this. The bullet behind him catches the Stud. And the bullet catches him once again, and the Stud rolls into the ring. And the bullet is right on top of him. The bullet catches him again. The Stud's never gotten out of his robe. The bullet catches him again. And so the Tennessee Stud, in a world of hurt, the bullet has things very much under control.
Yeah, that situation between Rod Piper and Gary Hart, I found almost unbelievable. Well, I found it almost sickening myself, going to be honest with you. I certainly agree with that. it as someone else's business. In other words, it has completely nothing to do with you.
Yes, but why? I just went on tour.
Rich is a friend of mine, and now you're sticking your nose in my business. Well,
yes, but why?
I can go anywhere I want to. I'm a man just like you.
I just went on tour. Yes, but why? I just went on tour. Yes, but why?
Tennessee Stud said he wasn't in shape to wrestle. I watched him wrestle this weekend, unbeknownst to him, although he knows it now. And he's got some problems. The bullet catches him again. The Stud fires back. The Stud catches the bullet with an elbow. Let me tell you, 279 pounds, 6'9". He's big, bad, and mean. So the Stud, as the bullet staggered, catches him with a high knee lift, puts him to the canvas of the bullet. Bullet catches him coming in, catches him once again. The bullet chop into the chest of the Tennessee Stud. And so the Tennessee Stud, who had no thought of wrestling this week on Continental Championship Wrestling, is suddenly very much in the thick of things. He's been staggered, he's dropped to the canvas. And so the bullet very much in control. The bullet on him confident. Reversal by the Stud. The bullet into that turn by. The bullet catches that foot. Puts the Stud back to the canvas. He's going for that figure four. He's got the figure four. He's got it on him. He has got it on him. So the Tennessee Stud facing excruciating pain as the bullet puts the figure four leg lock. The Tennessee Stud in a world of trouble now. Wait a second. Wait a second. That looks like Robert Fuller. That is. Robert Fuller trying to rip the mask off the bullet. The bullet trapped in that figure four, and it is Robert Fuller trying to, let's see if we can't get a look at that. Wait a second. Hey! That's Brad Armstrong. Brad Armstrong in there. The bullet back on his feet. He catches the Tennessee Stud. He almost had that mask off. You got Brad Armstrong in there now. A four-way melee going on here. The Tennessee Stud and the bullet. Robert Fuller and Brad Armstrong. He's got the sleeper. Brad Armstrong has the sleeper on Robert Fuller. And it's the bullet going after that figure four leg lock again. The bullet has the figure four. Brad Armstrong has the sleeper. And it is gorgeous Jimmy Golden in the ring. Golden ripping away. And they've ripped the shirt off of Brad Armstrong. Meanwhile, the Tennessee Stud battling it out. There's C. Ronald West calling for the bell. But it's too late for that now. And they're after the mask of the bullet. Soto comes charging into the ring. Wait a minute. Shot from the outside by Jerry Stubbs, and they're outside the ring.
It's hard to see. It says the Fabulous Kangaroos, World's Wrestling Champions. So you know who they are now. Al Costello on the right, Don Kent on your left. And their opponents from Cincinnati, Ohio, Ricky Hamilton. And from Kingston, Jamaica, who now resides in Indianapolis, Prince Pullins. So all the introductions having now been made, we can get down to the more accurate facts of reporting to say that the Kangaroos, who reported in after a long overseas tour and wrestling across the country, reported in to the Midwest and the home of championship wrestling with a great deal of credentials and
there are tag teams and there are tag teams. There's only one premier tag team of them all. That is the team of the Fabulous Kangaroos, the World Tag Team Champions.
New fans have seen some of the wrestling game's best. Men of all nations with hair in their chest. Some you've admired, some you hate. Some are so lousy they just don't great. But who are the greatest in present and past? The boys from down under who roll them up fast. Now who are these chaps, these blokes of such great fame? If I weren't so bashful, I'd tell you their building names.
I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about the Fabulous Kangaroos. I've read that they were pioneers in the history of tag team wrestling and headlined all over the world. Any information on them would be greatly appreciated.
Well, you know, they were Al Costello was the key. And thank you, John, for that fine question. They were at one point for a period of like 20 years, whatever, a main event team in a variety of territories. And everybody thinks, well, I won't say everybody, but more modern fans think, well, that must be where they came up with Australian tag team match, right? Actually, the Australian tag team match term was introduced in wrestling in like the 40s. I've seen it in Kent. Costello ended up, Don Kent was the next best known, and they worked all the southern territories in the early 70s. But it was Ray St. Clair. Ray St. Clair was his partner in Michigan for a while. Al Snow and Denny Cass were the new Kangaroos at one time because Al Snow was trained by Al Costello. Because Al's career, he started wrestling in the 40s. I remember hearing that he was in the Marine service or the Navy or something God, was he Australian or was he New Zealand or?
Had a few words between each other or between themselves. Rules in effect. The Kangaroos, who wrestle Australian tag team styles because they are Australian, now have covered John Shorn, the referee. And Costello goes back to Pullen. Little short chop up under the throat. I think we had a tag. I'm not sure. Yep, we had the tag. Kent over the top rope. A boot to the middle of the back by Don Kent. Picks him up by the chin and then plants that boot right under the throat. Costello off the ropes. They use everything to their advantage, don't they, huh? Here comes Hamilton. Hamilton really putting the forearms in. They don't seem to be doing too much damage as Kent plants a toe up into the midsection. And now Hamilton tries to get the boot in again. Oh, Costello pulled a real sneaky a minute ago. When he hip-marred Pullens over, he had his knee up and he caught him right in the back. Now normally you'd take a man over. You know, you would take him over to get him down into a position of disadvantage, but Costello put the knee right in the middle of the back when he took him around.
You see, every time Prince gets something going, one of these fellas comes in the ring, and I must say that I think the referee should be more alert and watch for this because in this match, you've got to keep the rules. You've got to abide by the rules,
right.
Or else
you are right.
Prince is wasting his time in there, and I don't like to see this. I want the referee to enforce these rules. Now let him go. Now, if he can keep this Costello out.
Here's the tag.
Now they got something going here.
Right. All right, here's Hamilton. He's going to wait for a minute. He shouldn't. He should get right in there on him, but this is what inexperience does.
Sure. It seems like it's a time-old way that they've got about themselves, that they want. The clean men will not take this undue advantage of an opponent. And I think we ought to change the rules, Chuck.
Yeah, it would be much to the liking, I would imagine, of many of the fans if we would. There's a boot up under the heart by Kent, and he really brought that one home. Look at this. Puts another one up in there, good and solid. And this youngster is really getting indoctrinated. He's really getting a taste of it. And Pullens knows it. Pullens can remember when he had inexperience going against him. Here's a tag. And the kid steps out, and Pullens waits for Kent.
I never saw a fella work as quick, is so quick with his hands and with moves as Prince. You know that Costello, with all his veteran campaigning behind him, he's got all these moves and tricks, but he just couldn't catch Prince off balance in that corner. And I think that just goes to show you what tremendous condition Prince is in and how he's thinking all the time. One of the great competitors. Costello was just out of it over there in the corner.
Yes, he was, right. Here's another hard deal. Oh, and Kent, who many thought was down, now has relinquished his position in the ring to Costello, who is a real enforcer. He is a tactician. Look at this. He's got a spread on the mouth.
And there he's on the back again. He's got the camel thing again.
Right, the camel stretch.
Camel stretch. But as a matter of fact, you know, Hamilton, you can tell that Hamilton doesn't have the experience, and he's a little gun shy.
That's right.
I want to tell you.
That's right.
The fans can see it, and I can see it. He's got the guts. He's got the desire, but he's a little gun shy. They're taking advantage of it. He's not quick like Pullens. Now look at what they're doing. What is...
Here's a cover. Well, I have to say this, a very colorful finish.
Yes, that move
I mean,
was really...
this catapult and then the backflip.
I'd just like to see Pullens team up with a guy like Brazil or...
sparks were really flying, and Morocco ended up being counted outside the ring on Madison Square Garden floor. The victory went to Rocky Johnson, but boy, Rocky didn't want to win that way. Here he comes, sensational. Rocky Johnson loosening up as he makes his way towards the ring in quest of the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship belt. Boy, Rocky Johnson wants to win that belt in the worst way, and boy, I certainly like to see him take that belt, but you've got to be a tough cookie to take it from Morocco, who can do it all with a decided advantage here, being the champion. Only way that title can change hands is with a pinfall or submission. Countouts, disqualifications do not count. You get the victory, but not the title. Oh, reversal here by The Rock. Beautiful hip lock. Johnson with an arm drag. And another. Morocco out on the arena floor looking for a timeout. Johnson. Look at the deltoids, the latissimus dorsi, the biceps, the triceps, the quadriceps. Boy, he's got it all going for him. Looks like somebody took a chisel, just chiseled him out. Morocco dropping those forearms. Another reversal here. Big backdrop. And a nice arm drag. Oh, beautiful leg trip as Rocky Johnson is in control of this match. Turns it over now into a double toe hold. Rock and trying to pull Rock's hair, but Rocky's hair is cut very short. Oh, that forearm poked him right in the eye. That'll get him out there in a hurry. Those are illegal maneuvers. Should not be allowed. Should cost you money, if not a match, when you do that. Start hitting these guys in the pocketbook where it really hurts. Morocco with a chop, not too much behind it. Sending Rocky in for the ride. Picks him up for a slam, but Rocky turned right around the corner, runs him in. Oh, he was going for a sunset roll up there. Morocco hung onto the ropes, come off with an elbow, nobody there. Come off with a second one, Rock still not there. Small package by Rocky Johnson, 2 count. Oh, how close to 3 that was. Another heavy slam by The Rock. And an arm drag takes him over. Right back to that nice leg takedown. And holding on to this toe hold is Rocky Johnson. Oh, he came so close on that small package. Into a backdrop. Surprising Morocco. Big right hand by The Rock. Morocco threw a right hand and nowhere. He's on Queer Street. Morocco doesn't know where he is. Fell right between the ropes and almost out of the ring, completely to the ring floor. Morocco doesn't know where he is. He wants to know what time it is. What time the bus leaves. Johnson should be moving in. He's not. The Rock giving Down a chance to get it together. Suckered him in. That was a low blow. That was a low blow. Referee admonishing him. Maybe Morocco was looking for a disqualification now. Who knows? Could have been a disqualification. Once again, driving that thumb in. Johnson into the ropes. Sleeper hold now applied by Morocco. We haven't seen him use this in a long time. And Johnson retaliates with an unorthodox move of his own. All's fair in love and war. Magnificent one sends down into the corner, but nobody there. Morocco suspended on the top rope. He won't be able to hold his own body weight. Rocky Johnson pulling him back into that ring. He doesn't want to win this match on a count out. Oh, he dropped a big right hand on him. Morocco got all tangled up in there. Half inside, half outside. Now he's all the way outside. out onto the arena floor. Well, he's dragging him back towards the center of the ring now. Johnson, with all that power, can make this a very, very punishing hold. Morocco, clever maneuver as he ducks underneath the top turnbuckle and jams Rocky Johnson head first into it. Morocco, the big elbow, drops the rock to the canvas. If I'm not mistaken, we have an 11 o'clock curfew here in Madison Square Garden. And we're getting close to that point in time. Oh, pile driver. This should be it. Rocky Johnson took the full brunt of that, but still had enough to kick out. Amazing. Rocky Johnson really got dropped heavily by that pile driver. And now, the Magnificent One outside the ring. We're going to find out. Oh, right onto the knees of Rocky Johnson. Double cross maneuver. Johnson down for the count. Unbelievable. Morocco had the presence to put his foot over that bottom rope and stop the count, or we would have had a new champion at that point. Oh, big one to the breadbasket. Morocco's in trouble. Flat down. Johnson down. Hooks the legs. He's going to get him. Holy mackerel. 2 count, the referee says. But where was he when he first hit the canvas? Rocky Johnson with that big right hand again. Down for the cover again? No. Morocco's got his hand on that bottom row corner, and he does. Just had the presence of mind to do that. Holy mackerel, what a match. Johnson now into the corner. And he went right back to that sleeper again as he went right around underneath the arm and hooked it again. Rocky Johnson with a sleeper hold on the Magnificent One. This is deemed a submission hold, even though the man doesn't submit. If the referee feels he's out of it, he can award the match and the title to Rocky Johnson. Morocco makes it to the ropes once more and pays for it dearly. As his head is smashed in, Johnson now pulling out all the stops. Lefts and rights. Sending Morocco in for the ride once more. Will he go for the sleeper? No, a drop kick. Drop kick sends Morocco sprawling to the canvas. He's nowhere right now. Morocco is in jeopardy of losing his title right now. There's the sleeper hold right in the center of the ring. Well, there's a number of things that could have happened here. Number one, how can you award the match to Morocco? Oh, it's a draw. They've gone to the 11 o'clock curfew. 2 more stinking seconds, maybe less. Morocco would have been out. The referee was about to raise his arms and check him one more time before awarding the match and the title to Rocky Johnson. I don't believe it.
Ladies and gentlemen, curfew has intervened in this contest. The referee's official decision, the bout is a draw. Draw.
It's bad, you know.
今夜のこのビッグフレア対グレッグ・バレンタインの対決は NWA 世界ヘビー級のタイトル、そして US ヘビー級のタイトルのダブルタイトルマッチの予定になっておりましたが、ビッグフレアが世界タイトルを失ったために今夜は US ヘビー級のタイトルマッチになりました。そしてアメリカのプロレスファンの愛読書スポーツレビューレスリングにはこの両選手が顔面を血で染めた両雄の非常にショッキングな顔が表紙を飾っておりまして、大いにセンセーショナルな話題を呼んでおります。そういう因縁の対決、ビッグフレア対グレッグ・バレンタインの試合ですけれども、先ほど ティム・グラハムが紹介がありましたように、この前 NWA 世界ヘビー級チャンピオンのリック・フレアは6月の10日セントルイスのキールオーデトリアムでハーリーレースに敗れまして、1年9ヶ月守りました王座を分け渡しました。世界の NWA 世界ヘビー級の王座から落ちたわけであります。さあ勝負が
We had a new U.S. heavyweight champion. Here he is, and look how he is decked out with a girl on each arm and a championship belt, Greg Valentine.
I'll tell you what, Bob Cottle, you may ask what I'm doing dressed like this for my two young lovely ladies here, but I'm celebrating, you understand? I'm celebrating because just what you said, I am now the proud owner of this coveted gold belt. I want to say one thing else. This belt still smells like Ric Flair, still got his name across the front, so I'm going to have a belt made for me by the NWA. It's going to be presented to me. It's not even going to be the same color, you understand, but it's going to represent the same thing, the most prestigious belt in all the land, the United States Championship. I want to say one thing else. I haven't got too much time to stay around here because my ladies and I are going to go out for a nice candlelight dinner, you understand, and champagne. We are celebrating, you know that? And then tomorrow we are heading down to the beach. I got my 36-foot Chris Craft Scorpion. I'm telling you, we're going to have a good time. I'm not worried about challengers right now. I'm not accepting any challengers because I'm just going to enjoy what this brings me, and that's lots of money, the fringe benefits here.
That's one thing. Yeah. What happened to your head? I was going to say, your face looks like it's been in an egg.
Hey, my girls don't care about, hey, listen, they know I'm the greatest. They know that Ric Flair is no longer the #1 dude around here. You know, I had to stay in the back seat long enough, but now I'm in the driver's seat. I've got all the controls, you understand? I'm not worried about this little scar here. You know, Ric Flair is such a dirty wrestler, he tried to tear my eye out. You know something? It's going to be a long time before Ric Flair does that again because I'm not going to give him a match, you understand? Here I'm sure is another one of them out here interrupting my interview. Nature boy Ric Flair. Interview time. I hear the old times. Right or wrong, huh? You are going to sit here and tell the whole world that Valentine the greatest? No, don't insult me. No, I'm not insulting. They're very lovely. Valentine, I give you credit. I threw a number away last year. You are going to sit here and tell the public Valentine's the greatest? Bob Cottle, I want to show you something, Major. I don't want to disturb anybody.
Well, I tell you, Flair slugged Valentine into the ring. David, he's tearing that tuxedo right off of him. I think he's giving him his opinion of what he thinks of Greg Valentine. He's ripped the coat off. He's going to rip the pants. He is. He's going to take him down to the bare skin. He's taking him down. All right. All right, David, he's just about got him completely undressed in the ring. Ripping the shirt off.
いつものようにですね、ハーリーレースの自分の間の置いたレスリングというのを見られなくてですね、次から次とハーリーレースの攻撃をかけていたんですよ。まあ、ハーリーレースの試合者珍しいんですけどね、それでコーナーに追い詰めてはですね、左右フックのですね、連打なんですよ。連打っていう感じでですね、それでまた2位を落としてスープレックスを受け、起きてくるところですね、またコーナーに詰めて、まあ、右左のフックを何回も必要に攻めましてね、まあ、途中でハリーレースのヘッドバットがですね、当たってフレアが出血したわけですよ。その頭めがけてこの右左のフックですね、まあ、連打の世界チャンピオンにされたし NWA のですね、そういうことになったんですけど、またね、素晴らしい試合でしたですね。
そうですか。まさにこの前人未到の大記録を打ち立てたこのハーリーレース、ミスタープロレスにふさわしい大快挙をやってのけました。そして敗れましたリック・フレアですけれども、このリック・フレアは6月の8日蔵前国技館で日本のジャンボ鶴田の挑戦を受けまして、ジャンボ鶴田に1対0で敗れているわけですけれども、その2日後の6月10日に ハーリーレースに敗れて王座から滑り落ちたわけですね。そうですね。そういうようなビッグニュースがアメリカに伝わっております。控え室でも佐藤明夫選手、このリック・フレアが控え室に来ましたところ、雰囲気的にちょっと変わった感じがしましたね。
そうですね、やっぱり自分ではですね、試合、そのタイトルを取られた後にですね、話しましたら、俺は若いんだからってことは言ってましたですけどね、やはり世界チャンピオンから滑り落ちるっていうのは、親父のですね、ジャニー・バレンタインがですね、デビューしたての頃はですね、決してお金の儲かる、それから大きなテアトルにはね、決して送ってくれなかったって言うんですよ。大変にタフなですね、旅の辛いところばっかり送ってくれたなんて言ったことあったんですよ。そうですか。結局親父としてはやっぱり苦労させた方が後々楽になるってことじゃないですかね。
なるほどね。そのジョニー・バレンタインの息子でありますグレッグ・バレンタイン、どうやら、替えのあたりが散々リック・フレアの猛攻撃にあっておりますので切れたようです。さあ試合はかなり両選手エキサイトしてまいりました。 US ヘビー級のチャンピオンがグレッグ・バレンタイン、チャレンジャーが前世界チャンピオンのリック・フレア。さあ得意のブレンバスター攻撃、リングの中央いいポジションを取った。そのまま真っ逆さまに落としました。さあチャレンジャーリック・フレア US ヘビー級のベルトを取ることができるか。さあ地元人気大歓声が沸き起こって、ここで得意の足4の字固めいった。チャレンジャーのリック・フレア足4の字固めに行きました。チャンピオンのグレッグ・バレンタイン苦しんでいます。グレッグ・バレンタインがサードロープににじり寄ってなんとかそれほどの因縁の絡みのあります両選手の対決であります。まさにこの両者の対決はゴールデンカード、センセーショナルな話題を呼んでいます。さあリック・フレアとグレッグ・バレンタインが近い距離から両選手殴り合いが始まりました。チャンピオンのグレッグがエルボーで返します。サイドのヘッドロックをつかみました。サイドのヘッドロック、そしてもう一回バックドロップ、豪快バックドロップ、その反動でレフリーのサニー・ファーゴがぶっ倒れました。さあリック・フレアバックドロップを取って、さあ今カバーの体勢に行くがサニー・ファーゴ今起き上がったがカウントがちょっと遅い。チャレンジャーのリック・フレアがいい動きです。グレッグ・バレンタインも今生き返りました。さあリングの中央そのままフライングボディアタック、リック・フレアベルトを奪うか。カウント2、カウント2、チャンピオンのグレッグ・バレンタインが抑えられています。しかし後ろからの攻撃、前を向かせて今度は思い切ってエルボーバットを打ち続ける。そして顔面を持って思い切って拳打ち、全くこれは反則です。全くこれは反則です。サニー・ファーゴレフリーもやっと気がつきました。そしてリングの外にリック・フレアを連れ戻そうというところ、連れて行きました。青い鉄柱があります放送席の目前。さあ思い切って反動をつけてリック・フレアの足を殺しに行きます。 US ヘビー級チャンピオンのグレッグ・バレンタイン、だんだんラフな戦法を出してまいりました。やはりタイトルを守るためにはこのラフな戦法もやむを得ませんか。そして再び足を痛めつけましたので、ここでリングの中央に持っていきました。面白い技を見せましたね、佐藤明夫選手。
これでですね、昔和風マクダニエルに、ね、足を折ったことあるんですよ。
そうですか、強烈です。スピニングトーホールドから1回転して自らの体勢で相手の膝を完全に砕こうというところとするチャンピオンのグレッグ・バレンタインです。もう必要に足を殺しに行きます。ここで足4の字です。足4の字に入りました。リック・フレアの得意技お株を奪いましたグレッグ・バレンタイン。今度は反対にグレッグの攻撃に出ました。グレッグが攻撃に出ました。さすがに強いですね。今年の2月にセントルイスのチェッカードームで当時チャンピオンのケリーソン・エリックのミズリーというヘビーに挑戦した時にももうチャンピオン以上のさあチャンピオンのグレッグ・バレンタインが自らのチャンピオンベルトを持ちまして、チャレンジャーのリック・フレアの今度は顔面に思い切って革のベルト、そして黄金のチャンピオンベルトで打ちつけます。さあ両選手の試合、激しい試合になってまいりました。激しい試合になってまいりました。まだチャレンジャーのリック・フレアブロンドは気に染まっておりません。さあチャレンジャーのリック・フレア、おっとチャンピオンベルトを持って顔面に打ちつける。すごい試合だ。顔面に追いつけます。さあチャンピオンベルトでチャンピオングレッグ・バレンタインの額を思い切ってめった打ち、サニー・ファーゴレフリーにも今暴力を振るいました。チャレンジャーのリック・フレア、やはり NWA 世界ヘビー級のチャンピオンの座から落ちたばかり、起死回生のこの再起第一戦のサバンナの対決でベルトをどうしても欲しいリック・フレア、さらに殴りつけます。 殴りつけます。ベルトで殴りつけます。そしてサニー・ファーゴレフリーにも今膝を打ち立てました。これはいけません。ちょっと血迷いました。ビッグフレアであります。さあどういうような判定に出ますか。まだゴングは打ち鳴らされておりませんが、どうでしょうか。ゴングは鳴りましたか、佐藤さん。
ゴングは鳴ってますね。
サニー・ファーゴレフリーはどうやらゴングを要請したようです。
It's bad, you know.
Now, unfortunately, our top news is that Road Warrior Animal, one half of Legion of Doom, has passed away today. Now, unfortunately, we're saddened to learn the passing of Joe Laurinaitis, aka Road Warrior Animal. Joe Laurinaitis' brother Marcus posted the news via Facebook, and according to a report from TMZ Sports, law enforcement tells us the wrestling legend, who was one half of the famous Road Warriors tag team, passed away at Tantare Resort in Osage Beach, Missouri. We're told cops received a call around 11:49 p.m. from Laurinaitis' wife, but when deputies arrived on the scene, emergency personnel had already declared the ex-wrestler deceased. Joseph Laurinaitis was only 60 at the time of his passing. Of course, if you've been watching wrestling for a long time, Joe Laurinaitis teamed with Michael Hegstram to form the Road Warriors, arguably the greatest wrestling team of the last 4 decades, and often listed as the greatest tag team of all time. Working as Animal and Hawk respectively, the team began their career in Georgia Championship Wrestling, where their dominant matches, muscular physiques, and unusual attire quickly made them the talk of the wrestling world. Ironically, the Road Warriors team was hastily thrown together as Bookie Ole Anderson needed a new team after one of his wrestlers was involved in a legal battle that sidelined him. It didn't take Animal and Hawk long to find superstardom, and with manager Paul Ellering guiding their careers both on screen and behind the scenes, the Road Warriors commanded top dollar wherever they competed. The Road Warriors competed in AWA, Jim Crockett Promotions, WCW, and the WWF, as well as making millions during tours of Japan. The team won major championships wherever they worked and became the first team to win the AWA, NWA, and WWF Tag Team Championships. Although the team's success began to slow down, Animal and Hawk continued working together until Hawk's unfortunate passing in 2003. Animal continued wrestling, teaming with Heidenreich to win the WWE Tag Team Championships in 2005. Animal also teamed with Sasaki to form the Hell Warriors in All Japan Pro Wrestling in 2007. The Road Warriors were inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2011. In 2011, Animal released his memoir, The Road Warriors, Danger, Death, and the Rush of Wrestling, and retired from the ring in 2014.
That supply of oxygen. Rhodes fighting for breath now. Race back on his feet. Race drives that knee into the head of Dusty Rhodes. Race crashing down. The headbutt into the forehead of Dusty Rhodes, and Rhodes rising to his feet. He's got to be on sheer instinct alone.
Courage in the first degree. Dusty Rhodes is showing in that place right there and following it up. Harley Race been on the brink of defeat and trying to gain a victory here in the first fall and get a few moments of respite here between falls, but thus far he's been unable to do so.
Belly to back suplex on the part of Dusty Rhodes has the champion back on the canvas, and Rhodes. This match really taking its toll now of both men. Very little breeze here in Tampa Stadium at this time. Very little breeze at all. And so the air hangs hot and heavy. And Dusty Rhodes coming back to his feet, as is the world champion Harley Race. Rhodes back on his feet. Rhodes catches him with the elbow and staggers the champion. Catches him again. Race back up against those ring ropes. Rhodes whips him off. Caught him with an elbow coming off the ropes. Rhodes sets. Crashes down with that bionic elbow. Hooks the far leg. He got him. He's got the first fall. Dusty Rhodes has the first fall. He is halfway home. One more fall. One more fall on the part of Dusty Rhodes, and he'll be the World Heavyweight Champion. The crowd going crazy here at Tampa Stadium. The crowd going absolutely berserk now as Dusty Rhodes has the first fall. 30 seconds remaining. 30 seconds remaining. Again, that foot on the rope. Race has used that foot on the rope. He has kept himself as close to those ropes as possible. Rhodes again drops the elbow. Crashes down under the chest of Harley Race. No, sir. Again, on the ropes. On the ropes, and time is running out. Time is running out. Dusty Rhodes on his feet. Race coming to his feet. Rhodes measures him, caught him with a right hand at the bell.
There's a bell, Gordon Soley.
That's right, he caught him with a right hand at the bell, the champion. Champion is down. The winner of the fall and the winner of the match is Dusty Rhodes.
The winner of the match is Dusty Rhodes.
The winner of the match. He is the winner of the match. However,
he did not win the mandatory 2 fall.
That's just a little while ago what I felt about the match. Dusty Rhodes feels about the match just like this. Harley Race has never pinned me. I went to bat with Harley Race, beat him, pinned him in Tampa Stadium just like I said. Fritz Von Erich called it like he's seen it. I will never wrestle Harley Race again as long as I'm a professional wrestler. Harley Race has not long to live. Tampa Stadium seen the greatest night of excitement. 1 hour Dusty Rhodes and Harley Race went. There is no reporter, no writer, no person out there that cannot believe that Dusty Rhodes is the world's heavyweight champion. I don't want nothing now but to mind my own business, take care of business around the state of Florida. Harley Race can go crawl in the corner, take care of his wife and kids, try to make a living where he can, because I pinned Harley Race. He has never pinned me, will never pin me. The last Tango in Tampa was his last chance. Anybody that was here knows that I took it to the limit. A lot of respect for Harley Race, a lot of respect for Fritz Von Erich, and a lot of respect for the people of the city of Tampa, because this is a milestone for wrestling in Tampa. The sport that gets pushed around, shoved around, jotted around, shoved around, put on the back pages. But baby, there were 20,000 people who gave a damn about what was going on. And as long as I'm able to walk, as long as I'm able to do all my stuff and strut my I'll do it right. Harley Race, good luck to you, Daddy. It's over with me and you.
Well, wrestling fans, I hope you enjoyed this volume of Glory Days of Pro Wrestling. And join me in my successive volumes as I present only the very best in wrestling. Again, we're going to go across regions and across the continent, present only the very best in the glory days, the 70s and the early 80s. This is Willie J signing off. Have a good day.
Trading blows now, blow for blow. Orndorff down with the upper hand. Whoa, big uppercut. And another.
You know the place is going to cost him the feet on our body.